Hey guys, it's Sarah with Grassroots Evolution Tarot, and I just wanted to pop on and bring you guys a message from Spirit today. I felt really called to, and I missed you guys. So for all of you that are here today, thank you for being here. For all my subscribers, I love you from the bottom of my heart. And for anyone who's new, thanks for stopping by. If you feel like it resonates and you'd like to see more, please hit subscribe, join the journey with me, because I'd love to have you along the ride. So I'm just going to get a message today. It feels like a lot of focus on healing. I don't really follow astrology all the time, but I think we're going into a new moon. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please, guys. But I do feel like things are changing. Like, we are finally learning lessons of the old, so to speak. And when I opened up this deck, like, Sacred Revolution came out, which, if any of you have been around for a long time, like, forever ago when I first got the balls to get on here and read cards and shit, that was one of the cards that came through a lot because things were changing. And it was a major upgrade and change and transformation. They want me to take this one. Authentic voice and transformation of my life. We have integrity, and we have her eye ever open as well with Goddess Tara and Tibetan Quartz and Rhiannon with Amazonite. And this is Aquamarine. It's okay, they're saying, like, so they're just going to call in Spirit anyway. This is Angel Bath Cole, and I'm going to ask Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, my team of light, and any of your spirit guides who would be here for the highest good of the entire collective. I asked them to join us. I asked them to guide, guard, bless, and protect myself, this reading, and any of those, as typical me, any of you who would ask for it, as well as to use me as the clearest channel possible, and giving you guys messages that are for the most farthest reaching, but for the highest good of us all. Crossroads of Destiny, her golden grace. Hilarious that they're in here, right? Because as I'm speaking out, things are changing. And this really is where we talk about crossroads of change. Oh my gosh, okay, I just want to make an announcement. If you're, speaking of which, if like you're thinking about going into changing careers, it's really hard to find a vet right now. Something you might want to consider. Just, here's a voice for thought, okay? But I guess there is a veterinarian shortage, right? So there might be something about it. For some of you, if it's your call, if you're good with animals and you've thought about it, think about it, my friends. I just want to say a little bit here. I'm going to put them back in the deck and we'll shuffle. But Spirit definitely needs you to know, right, that what you're saying is important. Your voice needs to be heard. And for some of you, what I heard is, the words I heard were current warfare tactics. And I'm going to look into that a little bit more as I have the cat tarot. But I think you're probably healing for a lot of us, especially for some of us as going through childhood. You know, we're always labeled argumentative because we've got a different opinion or side of things, or, we're always seen as battling. And there's always two sides and two flips of the coin, but then there is this importance of not losing the authentic voice, no matter how many times people have tried to shut it down. And I do feel like for a lot of you, if you're whistleblowers, if you are the truth tellers, if you are knowledge seekers, and if you have views that go against, like, the grain, people have tried to silence you before, and this is you, what I heard is really reclaiming your vision as well. For some of you as well, you may get psychic visions. What I heard is it's important for the most part. What I heard is, like, okay, to ignore them, but ignore them just as in, okay, it happened, what does that mean? You know, because not to take what they're saying as, okay, don't let it take, not to ignore as in to ignore your intuition, but sometimes things come to us in strange ways. So what I suggest is, like, doing, like, kind of time meditation on what does that mean to me. Was there symbols in there? Because they're just showing me the bottom, right? There's symbols in there. But then what I heard is, for some people, if you get hyper fixated on things, or if you tend to, they're saying the words ruminate, or, get stuck in thought loops. Sometimes as well, this is going to be really hard to find our authentic voice, because if we're in this thought loop, it's like shit's not being able to move through. I always think of this as, like, the return to the switch, right? Like cell phone towers, probably most places where there's, like, text messages coming through. phone calls, if something's happened and they're all backed up, your phone's not getting it. I used to work for like a cell phone company, but anyway, there was this thing that you could hit that was like return to switch, and you would get like a whole bunch of them probably at once, and it was just like it needed to be cleared. I think there's a return to switch that needs to happen in this particular case, just to clear out some energy, okay? So I want to read to you because I do feel like this is highly hearing. So if it's not yours, it's not yours. But number 17, we bring you the gift of authentic voice. We want you to know your own truths and to speak them in your own way because you have something of value to share, your inner world, your unique viewpoint, and the person that you are. When you speak from your authentic voice, you help others relax, come out of their heads and into their hearts, and remember the truth of who they are as well. Your authentic voice doesn't have to sound like the voice of any other. It doesn't need to always be soft, and right now it's not. It's raspy, my friends. Although, in its own way, it will always be loving. Your authentic voice has a place in this world and has been designed to be a valuable part of the sacred choir of soul voices which create music for the universe. You are part of a soul voice. As you trust in your authentic voice, your ability to manifest your divine destiny will grow, and your responsible use of power, the power of your voice, will help many. Your authentic voice is like none other. That is why you can take some time to find it. In a way, it finds you rising up out of the depths of your being until you realize that it's there, being written, spoken, danced, sung, paint, felt, and turned into poetry, art, music, color, form, and of course, sound. It is the authentic voice of your soul. So this is something not limited to words. For some of you, and it's a lot of different things, okay? It is authentically where you're going. We're drawn to a lot of different things for a lot of different reasons as well, and it is because of our voice. And what I also heard for some of you is clarity of vision. So I want to get a little bit of tarot wisdom first going forward. And I also heard like there's a situationship. Okay, we got the Tower. Things are changing. The Empress at the bottom. But you still, I feel like this is not, this doesn't feel like this is mega life-changing, okay? What this feels like is there's some power out there. It shook you a little bit, but scratching post is still intact, right? The lightning never touches. It's not going to burn it down. And you're still, I feel like for some of you, you're the ones behind making the waves. For some of you, this could have been like a past situation. And what I heard is some things may have gotten blown out of proportion, okay, is what they're saying. I feel like for you, okay, there may, again, and this is just take what resonates, but there may have been a lot of differing opinions. Better check the book this time, right? No, we're good. A lot of differing opinions on what I heard is how you should look, how you should dress, how you should act, what you should do. Okay, this one. After the storm. And collaborative dreaming. I feel like because you already are aware, defend to the end the worthwhile. You know what in your heart to be true is, right? I feel like a lot of you, because again you've had a hand at making the changes here, or in the past have stirred things up, you are seeing the gift of the power that's been created from the storm that's just passed. And we all know that with our true authentic voice, sometimes you have to rock the boat. I was watching, something that was talking about sometimes you got to throw hands. And I mean, I'm not talking about throwing hands really, but metaphorically, if there's a time where you know you have to speak and it may cause friction, but this is important. There's like, what I heard is like primordial. It's happening. You're going to do it because a boundary or something has been crossed so much that no longer will you take that to hold the peace. There is something like this, okay, of authentic voice. This after the storm, this collaborative dreaming, there may be, what I'm kind of feeling is like there may be a point where if this is with other people or someone else, there may be a point where you guys are able to kind of think about how things could go better. What I heard is next time or another time, or what are the lessons that were learned, because going forward, if there has been, what I heard is this tear, this divide between a situation or whatever situationship it was, you know, what I heard is not everyone's going to share a vision, and not everyone deserves to hear our version of things. If this is with a situation with someone, though, and I believe that, like, this Empress is you, regardless of, you know, whether you're masculine or feminine. Definitely what I heard is could be a mother figure. There's been, like, something that's happened here as well. And I feel like there's things that have been revealed. For some of you, they're coming to me with a lot at once, so I'm sorry if I cut myself off. But, and again, it's just been cut off. Because I feel like you're in such a position of authority within yourself and your own authentic voice that what I heard is, like, you're not going to you can rattle the cages, but it's not going to make me feel anything. For some of you, what I heard is false accusations as well. What I heard also was someone else had misuse of power. I got a little bit for this 28 too. So 28 brings me right to part of the healing process, which says, I choose of my own free will through this and any lifetime, and through all layers of my entire being. Spirit's saying, take your shoes off, guys, and take a deep breath in. To release any fear or resistance to incarnation, to grounding and manifesting my light in the physical world. I love my body and the physical world. It is a sacred home for the light of spirit to shine within. I choose to be present in the joy of life, experiencing sensual healing through embracing life in all its mystery. May all beings who have been frightened by life in any way be healed through divine grace, so they can be open to receive the loving gift of life through divine grace and unconditional love, so be it. Hold the oracle card flat between your palms. Okay, so we're going to go with this. And it says, may divine love activate the ascending power in all those who benefit from it now, according to divine grace and in service to the great divine plan of love unfolding, so be it. And for 3 times to do this, I'm kind of doing it backwards, that's the way I was told to do it, so I'm going to listen. We can finish this off with saying this affirmation 3 times. I ground myself in the loving embrace of Mother Nature. My light descends to earth as an act of love. I ground myself in the loving embrace of Mother Earth. My light descends to earth as an act of love. I ground myself in the loving embrace of Mother Earth. My light descends to earth as an act of love. We bring to you the blessings of descending power. Oh no, that's number 28. Oh, I read to you this. That's interesting. Sorry, guys. But that is important, right? That is so important. We're descending. We are bringing our power back down. And you are a freaking divine being, divine feminine. And I just heard, don't ever lose that divine spark within you. And the voice that you have, even if it's raspy, sometimes there's something to say. Sometimes you gotta rock the boat a little bit, so to speak. So number 28 here. Wrong deck I was doing too. These decks, by the way, these 2 ones are by Alana Fairchild. I love her. Oh, you're going to love the healing thing for this too. So it says, your heart is big enough to dream not only for yourself, but for our new humanity. Imagine a world that is healed with respect, understanding, and with community that fosters life. Even your dreams that relate to you alone will contribute positively to the greater good because that is the nature of your heart. Your heart is naturally and intelligently cooperates in a good scheme of loving creatively, working to heal the hearts of the world. The heart creates win-win situations that benefit from the individual and the collective. You are being asked to honor your growing desire to co-create with conscious, like-minded people. Your collaborative dreaming is a heart-inspired win-win, bringing mutual enhancement to yourself and others. The heart wants to love and be loved, and working with others creatively is a way to allow your heart to grow. The healing process for allowing yourself to kind of open up, because for some of you, as well as like you may be so used to your voice not being heard, if there's a situation in the past where that's happened, now is the time that, like, working together, we really are going to need to know, like, that we are special, know that we want to come with love. And this also does really feel like, to me, like, the idea of that sensuality, romanticizing ourselves, this is one way to do it. Letting our creative processes grow with another or with ourselves. For some of you as well, for some of you maybe dream sharing, and there's information being passed back and forth. But the healing process says, imagine a chain of paper dolls, all connected, forming a circle. Imagine that the circular chain of paper dolls can be filled with a beautiful golden light, which begins in the heart of each paper doll. The light shines out and shimmers, making the paper dolls radiant, shining and golden. Imagine a feeling of love, connection, help, and goodwill shining along with the golden light. Stay with that image or feeling as long as it feels good for you. Then simply open your eyes and you have completed your healing process. And the next is seeing to the true you. That's actually really cool and amazing how light. I hope you guys feel light as a feather after that. I just saw 1717. So for any of you that feel like that resonates, check it out. I'm going to end with the Isis Oracle. It's been a while since I've done this, and if you don't want to stick around, that's alright. But I feel like something's in here. I feel like I want to share it with you guys. So this is some advice going forward, how we can integrate this, because there are powerful changes. I do feel like we're the initiators. We also know that our hearts our hearts know the way to which we seek, right? And how we speak. Stay true and be in your power, Osiris and Isis, Lord and Lady of divine authority. And this is union within ourselves. This is these two. This really does feel like this collaborative dreaming, this conscious creating. This is, we are whole within us. We are in balance with our masculine and feminine sides. For some of you, not all of you, but this does speak of reunion as well. To me, because I feel like there is this after the storm situation. Whatever changes are being made, right? Whatever happens going forward, like you're using your authentic voice. I feel like I just heard like you're a freaking human bullshit detector, human lie detector. It doesn't matter, like it doesn't, if this person's gonna bullshit you and sit across from you and try and say things, you're gonna see right through it. So there's no point in them coming towards you because you're gonna see right through it. This doesn't feel like that. Okay, just there's so many weird, not weird, but it's conflicting the way that it's being brought to me. They're just showing me bring it into form and inspiration. So if you're having inspiration with this collaborative dreaming, this is even just bouncing off people's heads ideas. For some of you, this could be coming, what I heard is business director. For some of you, this is trusted, loyal friend. For some of you, this is like a manager, somebody, this is like, I heard like your writer. There's a lot of different things, right? Like this is the person that, you know, you work together with. It could be your best friend, just something that you guys jive. And there's whatever you're meant to create here. For some of you, it's purely spiritual, and others of you, it's meant to be kind of quite profitable. So whatever ideas and thoughts you're getting, write it down. What I heard is sensation. You're going to be a sensation, and figure out ways that we can bring it into form, because there's magic all around you. Spirit's going to bring it to you. So we're going to say with this number, oh, this is one's hard. Stay true. See, I was meant to find it too, because in all of this, I found it right away. Page 165. Spirit's like, you're going on and on. It's time to break this stuff up. Battery's going to die. So, you are a sovereign divine being with spiritual authority and freedom within you. You do not need permission from anyone to be who you are and to live your life as you so choose. This is your divine birthright. Guard it as the precious treasure that it is, and remember that you are a divine being. The flail and crook, often held by Osiris, are symbols of the divine royalty and dominion. These symbols remind us that within we hold ruler of our own self. It does not mean that we have to control life or others or even the environment around us, but it does give us complete and utter choice to become as spiritually awake, free, and self-determined as we wish to be, and as well as providing us with complete choices as to what we value and actions will be this lifetime. There's no permission required from anyone apart from yourself to be and live your truth. There are so many voices that will test you on the journey, from illusionary shackles of fear, loss, or abandonment that may hold you back or tempt you into giving your power away to others. You shall awaken from the testing into the realization of spiritual independence within. Another Atlanta Fairchild speaks perfectly your authentic voice, bringing your divine self down, my friends. It's time. Whatever you got to offer, whatever lessons and insights you've learned, this is being, what I heard is some of it's being released into the media, is what they're saying. But there also may be a lot of, what I heard is for some who's backlog too. Like there may be something where a situation, they're also coming to me, like this could be where the reunion feeling is. If there was something you thought you wanted and you figured all was a loss because it feels like time has been forever. They're saying first off, time is an illusion, but we do feel it very, very strongly on this 3D plane. But that it was meant to happen this way as well, because there were so many lessons that were meant to be learned that wouldn't have been learned without these tower moments. Powerful moments of change, and I know they're hard, but what I heard is lean into it. They are so difficult. So one thing, and if my battery dies, I apologize, guys, I love you, but I just want to say is one thing, lean into it. I've been doing on Beachbody the 21-day fix body block. And, today she was talking about it's the burn, right? It's like once you get to that burn, that's the point where the change happens, right? That's the change point where it's going to build. And, I mean, it doesn't matter how many times we know that. When someone else says again, this feels like this lean into the burn. Keep correct form and posture on the way, but lean into it. When the tough gets going, you get tougher. And why do you do that? Because we persevere. We're strong. For some of you, this is a little bit about getting your cardio, right? Because if shit gets going, you gotta get out of there. You gotta be able to get yourself out of there, right? I can't do a pull-up. And I used to not have a whole lot of epic body strength, and I probably still don't have the most, but I mean, if I ever go over something, I want to be able to pull myself up, because if there's a situation I have to pull myself up, I'm going down, man. I know I'm going down. So there's places where we know that, oh man, okay, so this is not for everyone, but if you know that getting out of the car and going to the grocery store, you're out of breath. It may be time to do something drastic, right? And it's not everyone, but take a couple minutes. Do what you can do. If you're hurting because of it too, they're saying like I got Tammy in my head from 1,000 Pound Sisters. I think it was her, or no, maybe just watching My 600 Pound Life. Like some of the things they would do is take like your walker, right? Take a walker if you have one, or have like someone with you, have a chair somewhere, that you can walk to and from this chair a bunch of times, so that if you need to get back, sit down. There's no shame in starting where we are. And if we let that get in our way, like, this is just extreme, right? Maybe we're not able to move so much. There's even points where if we have to really thank our body for all the mobility that we have, because there are, and this is not about, people are worse, but there are people who aren't able to and would love to do this, but they don't have that anymore. So if you have the ability to move your body, sometimes we get stuck in, again, this, we've got so much to lose, we've got so much to do, we've got so much that it gets very, very overwhelming, and it gets to a point where we just feel like we're out of control. And what I heard about here is Spirit saying, start with the basics. You don't have to change it all at once. Especially, like, what I heard about is if you're changing, like, your nutrition, a lot of times, you want to do everything right away. Sometimes it's a lot more effective in the long run to make one change at a time. So if you're going to add these walks in, try and keep, choose one. Either start eating better first and then add this in, or add the walk and then, start eating better. Because if you add this walk in, okay, for even, like you say, for 5 minutes a day, you're going to go back and forth and do this. If it's really a struggle, at the end of the week, you're going to notice the difference. And if you keep doing this for 3 weeks, you're going to notice the difference. If you say, I'm going to do it for a month, and the next month go, okay, I'm going to do it again, but this time I think I'm going to add more vegetables. This time I'm, insert. So, I also want to say too, setbacks happen, right? Sometimes we've been our own makers, right? Doesn't mean give up, doesn't mean that we failed. We had major lessons to learn along that way. So what were they, right? And let's get back on track. How do you bring it into form, right? How do we make these visions we want, we desire? How do we get this inspiration, right, from all those Pinterest things we've been going through? How do we bring it into life? Well, Spirit's going to help you. But you got to listen to your own voice, because I got a feeling you're not going to listen to anyone else's here, right? We are not in a bad way, but you know the truth. You're a divine freaking being. For some of you, it might have been something that either we forgot, or we've had just situations where, again, we'll really feel divine at the moment because there's a shit storm, and we live in the 3D, right? So 5D sounds really great sometimes. But the 3D, it is, right? But this is this 3D world. For some of us, again, I just heard, like, Muggle world, like, Flora Lawns. It's just like we live in it, where we've been in this, like, I again heard Muggle world, where for those that are in the club, we're not as weird. But even within, there's Ace of Cups, not weird, but even within, I feel like there's judgment too, because not every one witch is ever going to be the same, let's say like that. Not one spiritual practitioner may all do it the same. But I think if you even took it down to religion, like, not all churches do the same thing, even if they're the same. They're definitely, this isn't about church, okay? But this is, I'm also feeling like, for that love, for it's time for you, divine blessing of the Sun Falcon, it's time, right? It's time for you to, what I heard is, live your life with major purpose and just step forward into this world, because they have no idea what's coming, and you are here to change it. That's why you dropped down on this earth plane for. So, if any of you watch Transformers, I'm trying to remember which one it is anyway, but one of them where they beam up the thing and they're getting ready to bring down their entire planet. It's not the last one, but it's the first one before that. Anyway, like, or it could even be Bumblebee. Switch yours on, man. Do that return to switch, because I feel like that's your power source. Okay, and it's not saying you're bringing all of this down, but you're bringing it down. You're descending back down, right? Remember that? to sending. So, anyway, I've rambled on, but I hope this message resonated. I hope that whatever was meant to come through did. And I love you all. Just remember, lean into your struggles. Something else they're saying to me is like Autumn will say, it's like work the problem, right? So instead of, it's just work the problem. What is the problem? What is the solution? Because I guarantee you, especially if you're having, like I said, the example was having trouble walking to the car or to the grocery store. I think I've put, no. These small steps, they add up over time. One day it'll be 10. And then maybe a year from then, you'll be doing half an hour. And it'll be nothing. And you'll thank yourself for right now getting up and doing it. Because small things over time adds gains. Consistency is going to help you every time. This isn't just about that, but for someone, it will make you feel more alive. If you can frickin' breathe, because you've been increasing your lung capacity, you've been doing this cardio, it's going to make you feel a whole lot better. It's going to make you look a whole lot better. You're going to have, I think that maybe, you may need to talk to your doctor and just okay it if you have heart issues. But if you know, daring rebirth, dare to change, purification. I swear, if you need it, watch. It's your time to shine. Your inner light to shine. Your time to be in the limelight too, because you're going to have an understanding of this. But I'm just saying, if you need to watch things like that show you, like my 600-pound life, kind of, but show you this is what you got to do. And I know it's hard looking at it from the struggle bus, but watch how this happens, or talk to your doctor, because I know, I want to say this too, and I'm sorry if I offend anybody, but if you're still holding on, I love you. If you are on Ozempic or something like that and you're losing weight, great for you, right? But this is what I wanted to say about it too, okay? And it's nothing bad about if you're taking Ozempic. If it's helping you, awesome. Add in your walks. This is one of those things that it's not all about being skinny. It's about being healthy. Because if we lose our weight, but we're not taking walks and we're not being more active, you're not going to feel real good either. This is about quality of life. So again, this is very specific, but not, I want, whoever you are, I want you to know, you're beautiful inside and out, and they're giving me the vision of like the sea witch in Ariel, or of Ursula, when she transforms into the trickster bride, right, who takes her voice. And this is where authentic voice is coming from. Ursula didn't have to be anybody else to do that. That was purely for revenge, if you remember, right? She was trying to really upset Triton. She wanted that crown because there's no competition in this situation. Anyway, it's just what it is. There's no need anyway. Oh God, there's no need for some of you as well. This is to let anyone try and ruin your life, or if you are also here to ruin someone's life, like that's bullshit. Okay, so I feel like for some of us, it's just a good reminder that sometimes we get really, really angry at a situation, or we get really, really jealous of the people around us. For example, I'll give you this. Years and years ago, like probably 7 now, I was doing 21 Day Fix a little bit, but not the same. But it was a long time ago. And one of the girls in the challenge group was losing way more weight than me, obviously. I had 3 kids and babies and wasn't sticking to the plan, but also wasn't the same situations, right? So yes, I was a bit jealous, but I'm still going to root for her the whole time, because just because I wish that I had her weight loss does not mean that I don't think that go girl go, because, and it's just one of these things that there's no competition in trying to want you to feel great and beautiful and healthy in your own body. And I feel like so many people there's this green eye. And again, if this isn't for you, let it go. It's just specific, and I'm saying it because I keep feeling the need to. But for some of you, whatever this is to let it go. And if you, for some of you, may have been the target of someone's green eye, and it's not your fault. You're allowed to live beautifully and be and speak and do you. Just because you are an absolutely gorgeous human being does not give, if there's a green eye jealousy around, it doesn't give them the right to try and tear you down. For some of you, it's because they've tried to make themselves look better. And I just feel like I love you all, and I hope this part resonated.